makes a better compact, Toyota or Mazda? We're gonna find out with today's comparison. I'll include a link to the Orem Mazda and the Orem Toyota's website in the description down below. They're providing us with both of these vehicles. Let's get right into the comparison. This week's giveaway highlight is a classic Corvette with a big block V8. If you're interested, use code BHC or click the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment. This will give you 4x bonus entries on any donation $25 or more. The Corolla Cross has a 2-liter 4-cylinder paired to a CVT. Fuel economy is 29 around town, 31 on the highway, with power outputs being 169 horsepower and then 151 pound-feet of torque. The Mazda has a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder paired to a 6-speed automatic. Fuel economy is 24 around town, 31 on the highway, with power outputs being 186 horsepower and then 186 pound-feet of torque. If you're able to, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. With the Corolla Cross, it's very angular with the design. I mean, look at the headlights, for example. And then when it comes to equipment, other than headlights, you don't really have much else going on. The Mazda is also very angular with the design. You do have the little turn signal indicators there at the bottom, and you notice a lot of the trim is painted on the Mazda, so it looks a little bit more premium. With the Toyota, it's 215 by 65 by 17. With the Mazda, it's 215 by 55 by 18, so slightly larger wheels with the Mazda, and they're also blacked out. Taking a look at the side profile of the Toyota, there's a bit of cladding at the bottom, and it's a little bit boxier in the back end. The Mazda also has cladding, but you can see it's kind of sleeker with the back end design, less boxy. So neither of these have power hatches, they're both hydraulic. Anyways, in the Toyota, we've got a cargo cover built in from the factory, and we might as well throw this down now. Oh. I didn't get it in the right motion. But yeah, that does fold down flat. So even though this is a compact vehicle, you could probably sleep in the back. I mean, it'd be a little bit cramped though. Now in the back of the Mazda, you can fit a car cover if you want. And the seats also do fold down flat in the Mazda. The 60-40 splits opposite in these, which is kind of funny. But anyways, yeah, it's a little bit less spacious than the Toyota, and again, that goes to the back-end design being less boxy. Now at this price point with the Toyota, you get the LE package, so you get the baseline taillights. Whereas with the Mazda, you've got this new Air Edition, and all of the CX-30s in general just have nice looking taillights, so it does look a bit more premium. In the back of the Toyota, we do have some soft touch here. We've got cloth seats with this packaging, and then getting in is easy. You just kind of step right across. Pretty good leg room. We have some vents in the back, and then here's a look at that dash with the Toyota. Now, as soon as you look at the door panel at the Mazda, you can tell it's a bit more upscale. I mean, look at that stitching, for example, and the seats continue that theme. They are cloth in the center, but not on the outside, and it just looks way more premium. Getting in is just as easy. I feel like I got a little bit less knee room here in the Mazda. It has a sliding center console, which is funny, but you have vents down there. And then look at the dash in the Mazda. You can tell the design is kind of more beautifully done, other than the screen kind of being just there. The Corolla Cross has blind spot monitoring. You've got some more soft touch down below, and the seats are going to be manual with the adjustment, more cloth with that too. They do at least give you soft touch around the steering wheel. We've got adaptive cruise control with lane centering. You have a kind of partially analog, partially digital gauge cluster setup, and then we do have a backup camera in reverse. Now, this has Toyota's newest infotainment system, so it's quick to respond. I've used it in a bunch of cars. And then down below, we do have automatic climate, but just single zone climate. This does have a phone charging pad. You've got auto stop start. We have the shifter to put it into gear, some cup holders, got a little 12-volt and USB in the center console, cloth trim there, and then this does come equipped with a sunroof as well. The Mazda also has blind spot monitoring, and then you've got fancier trim all over the door panel. And then with the seats, again, really nice looking. And then the driver's seat is power adjustable with lumbar. The passenger seat's manual, but anyways, you can see similar kind of design philosophy in terms of partially analog, partially digital, but the gauges in this look a bit more premium. And same thing with the steering wheel. Look how much more premium the trim is. Still have adaptive cruise control. Still have a backup camera. Now, unlike Toyota, Mazda is not a touchscreen unless you use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. And you guys saw before the dash, really beautiful. And then this actually has dual zone climate and heated seats and a phone charging pad, so it's got all the stuff. Shifter for the 6-speed automatic, and then you get your drive mode select right next to that. That's the control for the infotainment system. And then the sliding center console Got some USB ports inside with that. Fancy trim, and then this does have a sunroof up top to match. So there's only about a $1,000 price difference between these. The Corolla Cross is about $31,000. That is about $32,000. Let's see how they perform. CX-30. Let's see how this is. This engine's kind of rowdy. It's a big engine for the segment, 2.5 liters in displacement. Everything else has got 2 liters in this segment, or even smaller. Is there anything else? Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything that... Yeah, because I mean, you could even maybe throw the Hyundai and Kia, and those are... Yeah, I think this is the biggest engine in this segment. Let me know if I'm wrong, if I'm missing something, but I think it is. And it feels it. I mean, this thing feels powerful for a compact. Now the seats are, I like these seats a lot. They're a little bit narrow. They're a little bit firm, but they're comfortable. They feel nice. The cloth feels really nice. I also like having a power seat. That's a good feature to have. Ride quality's pretty smooth. Man, that dude's biking fast. Wow. Let's make sure that give him enough space here. Okay, he's going around me the other way. Oh my gosh. Biking like a maniac. Goodness gracious. I was trying to create space on that side, and then he whipped around the other side. I don't know. He's trying to do the right thing. But yeah, this drives well. I really like how this drives. I think this is super underrated. Mazda in general is underrated, but you got to get in one and drive one. Those things people don't even consider Mazda, which is sad. It's like nice interiors, good build quality, and excellent driving dynamics, good power delivery too. And it's got a 6-speed automatic, so feels like it's actually got something going on under the hood too, with having almost 200 horsepower. And you know what they say, there's no replacement for displacement. And the tactile feel, even with the turn signal indicator. I love how this thing drives. It's a treat. And that's the thing, is I think that a lot of people, they don't consider Mazda, but then as soon as you drive one, then it's like, oh, this might be on the top of my list now. I think they're appealing cars. I think they look good. I think they drive well. Just a solid setup. You got to at least appreciate Mazda enough to understand they've got something going on for them. Corolla Cross. This little category of cars become popular enough. Like, you know, a category is big when Toyota jumps in, and that is with these compacts. It's big enough that Toyota is all in. I mean, they obviously have had the RAV4, which is kind of like a smaller crossover for a while, but now you got the Corolla Cross. And Toyota's proud of this product because, well, their base model is not cheap. It does have quite a bit in terms of features, but still, they're asking a pretty penny for it. Now, being a CVT, it's not bad, but you do feel the kind of whirring of the CVT quite a bit. So that is something to just be aware of. And the 2-liter, yeah, got definitely got to kind of rev it out. It's not smooth with the power. This thing is this. Anything with a CVT and a 4-cylinder, it's never going to be like that smooth with power delivery. Again, not a ton of torque either. You just got to rev it out. You just got to get used to that. You got to get used to the fact that you're going to have to be revving it out all the time. But, you know, it's pretty quiet in here. It's just regular glass. But decent, you know, some level of insulation. Can move. It can certainly move. So I think the Corolla Cross in this segment is adequate. I think that's a good way to put it. It is adequate. It's got enough power. It's got enough fuel economy. It's got all-wheel drive. It's got enough features. Man, you really got to rev this one out. It's not particularly exciting. It's kind of like A to B type deal, and that can be, you know, a description for a lot of Toyotas. It's kind of an A to B type deal. So that's the Corolla Cross with all-wheel drive and with the 2-liter 4-cylinder. I wouldn't say it's a bad powertrain setup. Again, this is pretty typical for the segment, but that's where you think that Toyota might try to do more than just typical for this segment, right? Offer something more. And at the same time, though, is, you know, they don't really have to, right? They've got such a big name that they can just kind of do what everyone else is doing and then put the Toyota badge on it and people will buy it. That's how it works. They don't have to be too creative. So there you go.